Describe your most memorable bad day as a plumber.
My God, my most memorable bad day as a plumber. I mean, it just was not a life for me. The whole experience was heavy work. You know, I'd wake up at like 5:30 in the morning. I'd walk about a half an hour hike uphill out onto a motorway. I'd stand out onto the motorway with his cars ripping by full speed, and I'd have to wait for this country guy, a redneck you would call him, would pull in, and I'd have to bunk into the back of his car, and we'd drive 2 hours in the traffic all the way to the site, and then you're on the cold building site and you're looking around with all these old people and their back is up and everyone's in a bad way. It was just, and I'm the young kid, so I'm getting ordered to do this and ordered to do that, and it just was a hell of a rough time for me. And then I had to make my way home, same again, after 12 hours on a building site, jump in my countryman's car, 2 hours drive home, go to the motorway again, walk all the way home, and then I'm home. And it was just a rough time for me, and I knew that I did not want to pursue this life. Why do this? Why work to the grave? You know what I mean? This is not what life is meant to be. So I left and I quit and I went home and I told my father, I said, there's not a hope in hell you're going to ever get me back on that building site again. And he essentially said, we'll see about that. And we had many fights where he tried to get me back onto the building site, but I did not. Although I may have lost the fights we had, but essentially I won because I did not go back to the building site.
Were they actual fights? You're not talking about arguments. You're talking about actual
No.
fights?
They were actual fights. You know, we threw down. This is welcome to Ireland. This is the way it is. You know, you grow up and we are raised tough.
But you never won any of the fights? Excuse me. You never won any of the fights other than the big fight of not having to go back there?
Actually, one I did. He came in, he pushed through the door and tried to come at me, but I was training a little bit at this time, so I double-legged him and I ended up mounting him, and I had him in a vulnerable position. Yeah, so I dominated that sequence. That was actually probably the last time we fought, so...
I was about to say, I don't think your dad fights you again after you've won one. It normally doesn't go for a rematch.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think the power shifted in my favor at that moment. But it's all fun and games to me. I enjoy fighting.